Okay, hello there. Uh, I received an email from someone asking about copying collections. He's having some hard time working with them. Well, collections are a little bit tricky, so I am gonna explain what's happening. Okay, so first of all, collections are objects, and every object inside Visual Basic is actually a pointer. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's imagine you have two forms, Form 1 and Form 2. Form 1 here has a collection called A, and Form 2 has a collection called B. Now, the first collection, which is Form A here, contains what? It contains the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. What you want to do, before that, so you imagine that Form 1 dot A is a collection having these numbers, okay, and A represent the collection. Well, it's easier for you to think this way, but this is not actually true. The truth is, A is not the collection itself. It is a pointer to where the collection is. Okay? In other words, the actual data is stored somewhere in memory, and A here points to where that piece of memory is. Okay? Now, same goes for B. If you have, let's say, an array, a collection, it's an object, which means also it's going to point to where the information is. Now, one of the problems you must be facing is that you say something like this: form 2.b equal form 1.a, which means I want to copy this collection here into here. Okay, let me just insert the shape. Okay, so you want to do such a copy. Okay, maybe I could add an arrow, something like that. Where's the ending? Something like that. Okay, so the idea here, you want to copy A from here, the value of here, and make a copy here, and you are hoping that you will have two collection, you will have a copy of the collection. Well, this statement works, but it will not create an actual copy. Now, what happens when you do this is actually the following. Check this out. Both collections will be pointing to the same data structure. Both collections. So, when you say here, for example, when you say A of 1, you will be getting the value 1. When you say B of 1, you will be getting the same value. So far it looks the same. You would say, okay, this is because I made a copy. However, if you remove the value 2 from here, okay, the value 2 will be removed from both of them. And the reason for that is because both of them are actually pointing to the exact same collection. You have just one collection, and these values, these pointers A and B, are actually pointing to that collection. Okay? So, using this technique does not mean you are copying the information. Okay? This technique is very fast because it just sends the pointer. Okay? Just passes a pointer. So if you have 1 million value, okay, you just do this. You just swapped a single value, which is a pointer, but you didn't copy the 1 million values. Okay? Now, given that, what's the solution then? Well, instead of doing this, you'll have to do some hard work here. Instead of doing that, okay, you will need to make a copy of every single element. So what happens first is that you have this empty collection. Okay, you have this empty collection. You are gonna loop on this collection, and element by element you are gonna copy it. So what you do here, you copy this one and add it here. You get this one and add it here. You get this one and add it here. And then you get this one and add it here. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, it's simple. First, you create a new collection. So this one's gonna be like this. Now you just created a new collection. Next step is just a for loop. For I equal 1 to a dot count, and next all you have to do is, sorry, just ignore this one, okay, sorry, all you have to do is b dot add a of I, okay, and finally you add next. Yeah, maybe the place of this code is a little bit, okay, next, and that's it. Now okay, so this way you are creating a new separate data structure and copy each element. Now this again works, it is better than the previous technique. It will work with numbers, it will work with the different types of of data types. However, it will not work with objects. If you have pointers, you'll be having problems. Okay, so if this one is a class object such as a list, if this is a list, okay, or maybe you have a collection of collection or some kind of other object. As we said before, objects are actually pointers, right? Let me just say object here. Okay, now what you are doing in this code is actually copying the value, so you are getting a copy of the pointer itself, not the actual data, okay, and placing it in here. So if this object is changed here, okay, it is gonna be changed here. However, if this object is deleted from here, it will not be deleted permanently because it will still be in here. Okay, that's a little bit confusing, but this is how it works. All of these confusions is because of one simple fact. This fact is objects are pointers. So if you want to make a true copy of every element, if you are having an object here, you need to copy that object. Okay, so whatever that whatever members that object has, you need to create a new object, copy the information one by one from that object into the new one, and then add it to this collection. This is how it works. Okay, this is the idea behind it. Okay, so given that, I'm gonna make a very quick example here. So I'm gonna make it in the same form. Okay, so dimension c1 as a new collection, c1 dot add high. This is a string, it will contain only one value, which is high. Okay, and now I'm gonna say msg box c1 of 1, display the first value. Okay, and now dimension c2 as a new collection, and what am I gonna do? I'm gonna say c2 equals c1. Now we are copying the pointer, so we we neglected this collection, and now C2 points to the same location of C1. Okay, and finally I'm going to display how many elements in C2. MSG box C2 dot count. Okay, so now I'm gonna use F10 to trace it and show you what's happening here. I'm pressing the button. Okay, let me display the watches here. This is C1 and this is C2. Let me just move this one here. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so you can see the trace. So here we just created the object, and now this one's count is 0. It has 0 elements, and now we are adding a single element. Now count is 1, and the value here is high, as you can see, right? Now there's a message box, no problem. Create the second collection. The number of elements is what? Is 0. Now if I press F10, now you see now we have a single value, and that value is high again. Now check this out. I'm gonna come here and let me see, I should be able to change this if I'm not mistaken. Wait, well, it's not that easy to do. Oh, a list can be changed, a collection cannot be changed. It's like a read-only thing. Never mind, I can do something like that. Let me stop this now. Just wait a minute. Let me try this. I think it's because a 64-bit application, I didn't set it to 32. This is one of the problems of having 62-bit application. Anyway, so run this code, press the button, high. Okay, so we have these values now, so both are high. Okay, and yeah, okay, and now I'm gonna say C2 dot clear. Okay, now check this out. When I am gonna run this statement, how many elements here? We have 1 element. How many elements in the other collection? It's also 1. And as soon as I do that, the value is deleted from both collections, simply because they are both pointing to the same value. A better technique, or the correct way to do it, is like that. It's like that. For, let's see, definition I as integer for I equal 1 to C1 dot count C2 dot add C1 of I. So now we copied the collections, and now check this out. I'm gonna repeat the trace. I'm gonna ignore these message boxes or remove them and just show you what's happening. So now click here, click. So we have here what? We have high. Now this is the second collection, and I am adding the first value, so now it has the value high, and if you have multiple values it will work as well. So yeah, now if I click clear here, check this out, only C2 now is affected. C1 is not affected at all, because C2 is a true copy of is a full copy of C1, not a pointer here, not a pointer to the same collection in memory. Yeah, okay, so this is the second case. Now I am gonna show you another case. We are going to use some kind of an object. So let's say, well, what should I do? What should I use as an object? Let me see. So C1 dot add new, well, text box 1, text box. or let me say this dimension tx as a new text box. Tx dot text equal, this is a test. Okay, and now this is tx. Now in this case we are gonna get an error because text controls and text boxes are also pointers. If you are using objects and the class instances inside the collection and copying them, you need to copy each element in that object. Otherwise you will get you'll be copying just a pointer. So check this out. This is gonna be a little bit confusing. So here I'm gonna click here. Now this is the first one. Let me say this is tx, just to show you what's happening. So this is high, okay, and now this is tx, and tx text is, this is a test. Now c1 is now have two elements. The first element is high, and the second element is, this is a test. It's a text box containing the text. This is a test. And now if I modify the original tx here, the value in the collection will get affected, simply because tx and the value in the collection are pointer. I just added a pointer here. So let me just go back here, and where is it? I think I could change the value somehow. Wait. Wait. PQRST. Where is the value T? This is T. Okay, so now I'm gonna change this from this is test into bye bye. Press enter. Now if you wait a few seconds, now check this out. What do you see here? It changed to bye bye, because controls are actually, these are actually pointers to where the actual data is. Okay, so just pay attention to that. These are pointers. Now when we are going to copy the information into the second collection, the first item C of 1 is what? It is the string height, high, right? It's the string height, and this is an actual copy, no problem with that. However, the second value, which is C of 2, this is C of 2 is actually a pointer to the text box. So what are we doing is copying a pointer into into the collection. So if this one get affected now, if the control get affected, both collections will get affected as well. Okay, so where is that? PQRST. This is, I'm gonna say confusing. Enter. Wait a few seconds, and this is confusing. Now if we go here, check this out. This one changed to confusing, this one changed to confusing. Okay, so this is not the correct way to do it. Okay, for objects like text boxes and other class instances and stuff like that, you need to perform an actual copy. I think there is a method called get copy. Yeah, it might not be available for each class object, or maybe there should be something like copy. Oh, yeah, this one doesn't work. This one is related to text. So if you are working with classes that you created, you need to create your own copy method to get an actual copy of the object itself and make sure you avoid errors. Yeah, so this is I guess what you need to know about classes, about collections and how to copy them. Okay, one last thing. You asked me about copying the collection between two forms. Again, this is the first form and you have the second form. All you have to do is to define sorry, is to define the collection here so that it's accessible from the other form. So public my call as a new collection, for example, and in the second form, in order to access this one, you could say form1.myCall, for example, of 2. This will allow you to access the second element, or you could create a copy of it using the same technique. Okay, yeah, I think that will be all. Thanks for watching. If you have further questions, let me know. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.